Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Poppy, and today we're talking about something simple but actually really powerful: how to keep a joyful state of mind.
Hey, I'm Alan. Yeah, this sounds like a nice idea, right? But it's actually very practical. It affects how we think, how we act, and even who we become over time.
Exactly, and I think a lot of us wonder, is being joyful just personality, or is it something we can build?
Great question. And the short answer is you can build it.
Okay, so let's start with the why. Why is a joyful state of mind so important?
Because it drives everything else. When your mind is joyful, it creates intention.
Intention, like what you plan to do?
Yeah, it's like the direction of your mind. And that intention leads to actions, what you say, what you do.
So it's not just internal, it shows up in real life.
Exactly. And when you repeat those actions, they become habits.
Ah, the famous habit loop.
Right. And once something becomes a habit, it becomes part of who you are. So if you often act from a joyful mindset, over time, you become a joyful person.
So it's like mindset equals intention equals action equals habit equals personality.
That's it. That's the chain.
That's really powerful. But let's be honest, life has problems. So how does joy help when things go wrong?
Good point. Joy doesn't remove problems, but it changes how strong they feel.
What do you mean?
When you have a joyful state of mind, problems feel less overwhelming. It's like they lose some of their power.
So the problem is still there, but it doesn't control you as much.
Exactly. Your positive mindset kind of overpowers the negativity.
I like that image.
And there's another effect. You start seeing people differently.
Oh, in what way?
You notice the good in others, their strengths, their potential, their positive qualities.
That probably makes relationships better.
Yes, and that's huge, because a big part of our world is our relationship with other people. When that improves, life feels better overall.
Okay, so now the big question. How do we actually build this joyful mindset?
There are two key ideas: appreciation and acceptance.
Simple words, but I feel like there's a lot inside them.
Definitely.
Let's talk about acceptance first. What does it really mean?
Acceptance means understanding that life is not always the way we want it to be.
Yeah, that's true.
So we ask, can I change this situation? If yes, then we put effort into improving it.
Take action.
Right. But if we can't change it, then we accept it.
That sounds simple, but I feel like we don't do that.
We don't. Instead, we resist it, complain about it, or overthink it.
Oh, overthinking, that's a big one.
Exactly. Overthinking makes the problem bigger than it really is.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine you send an email at work and you don't get a reply.
Oh no, already stressful.
Right? Then you start thinking, did I say something wrong? Are they upset? Did I mess up? Now a small situation becomes a big mental problem.
Yes, I've done that so many times.
But if you accept the situation, okay, no reply yet, I'll follow up later, then it stays small.
So acceptance kind of stops the problem from growing.
Exactly. There may still be some discomfort, but you don't add extra suffering. Another example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and you're late for a meeting. The unhappy mind focuses on the lost time and the frustration, but the joyful mind uses acceptance, acknowledging that you can't move the cars, and appreciation, maybe enjoying a podcast or just having a moment of quiet. The traffic is still there, but your world is better because your internal state is better.
That's really helpful. Now let's talk about appreciation.
This one is about where you put your attention.
Meaning?
Meaning, most of us focus on what we don't have. We think something is missing.
Yeah, like I need more money, or I need more time, or I need something else.
Exactly. So life feels like there's always a lack.
But that's not always true, right?
Right. In many cases, we actually have a lot of resources. We just don't notice them.
Like what kind of resources?
Your skills, your experiences, your relationships, your health. Even small things like having a safe place to live.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it's actually a lot.
It is. But if we don't look at it, we don't feel it.
Right. Like instead of complaining about a messy house, appreciating that you actually have a home and a family that lives in it.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. Or even your health. We usually only think about our bodies when something hurts, right? But taking a second to appreciate that your legs can walk you to the park or that you can see a sunset shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present.
So appreciation changes how we see our life.
Yes, it shifts from not enough to actually, there's a lot here.
And that naturally makes you feel more joyful.
Right.
I'm noticing something. Both acceptance and appreciation are about changing how we see things.
That's a great observation. The external world may not change immediately, but your perception changes.
And that changes your experience.
Exactly.
All right, let me try to summarize everything.
Go ahead.
So, a joyful state of mind is important because it shapes our intentions, our actions, and eventually our habits, and that becomes who we are.
Yes.
Even when problems exist, a joyful mindset makes them feel less powerful.
Right.
And to build that mindset, we practice two things. First, acceptance. If we can change something, we try. If we can't, we accept it and stop overthinking. Second, appreciation. Notice the resources and good things we already have.
That's a perfect summary.
All right, everyone, that's all for today. We hope this episode helps you bring a little more joy into your daily life.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.